welcome back to another Pokemon Battle Frontier update video. Got a lot of chat about in this one. It's been quite a minute since we last made a video. So gonna go over some miscellaneous updates, then we'll talk about the Battle Frontier and the progress that I'm making within that. And then I want to talk about some team modifications that I'm currently making. I think this is it. This is gonna be good. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing well and enjoying their Pokemon adventures. So let's get into the first topic, the miscellaneous updates. I did restart my leaf green save file, and before I did that, I did test the analog pocket to see if if I kept turning it on and off without quitting the game first, would it delete the save file, and it actually did. So what I did was I did 10 sleep modes. I just kept clicking the green button to turn it on and off, activating the sleep mode. After 10 times, nothing really happened, so then I just powered down just using like the green button on the side without actually quitting the game first. Then when I returned the game on, the save file was completely deleted from my leaf green file, or my leaf green cartridge. So that was kind of surprising, but it was also more confirming that yes, the analog pocket can delete save states. So yeah, concerning, but at least we identified that it's not just like, was it hearsay or whatever. So definitely be careful. Make sure you're quitting if you're using your analog pocket, you're quitting the game prior to actually turning it off. Very important. I've not been very good about letting people know about this. However, I do have a website and a newsletter. I have been slacking in the newsletter. I haven't really made anything in a while. In the website, I'm also slacking. However, I do want to initiate the newsletter relatively soon, probably prior to actually this video uploading. I will have some more articles out. So if you're interested in reading more about this content, definitely check out the Substack link down below and subscribe to that newsletter. It's also fun for me to write about this content and share it that way as well. It's a little bit of a different experience and I guess way of delivering a message or journey. I did make a website and I did pump some money and a lot of time into it, but it's very high maintenance. There's a lot to it, and I need simple things, you know. So I'm probably gonna stop with the website, but I do have it up there in case you guys want to check it out. It's got a lot of some articles and stuff on it, but I think having just a simple newsletter is going to be a lot more fitting for my lifestyle. But anyway, if you guys want to read some content as opposed to just listening to me talk, then check out that newsletter. Let's get into the Battle Frontier updates. So I ended up getting the silver medal in the Battle Pike. I was kind of just like, you know what, let me try something else, because I was really only doing the Battle Dome factory and a little bit of I was doing the Battle Dome and Tower, and I was doing a little bit of the factory. So I was kind of like, let's just try the Pike, you know, why not? Get a little bit of a different experience. It was actually really easy. You only need, I think, 28 floors or 28 rooms to clear to get to the silver medal, like the challenge, the brain trust of the Battle Pike. So that was kind of easy, but then you need 140 rooms to get to the gold medal, which is like, to me, it doesn't like compare. Like one's like easy, the silver medal is easy to get, the 140 is like a lot. But yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting observation. So the Battle Pike, yeah, you just go into these rooms and it's kind of like almost luck in a sense. You're kind of playing your luck, but each room has like a certain thing to it, so you can either battle somebody strong but then you get healed after, or you battle somebody somewhat weak but then you don't get healed, or you enter a random room where nothing happens and you just get a free room. There's a whole bunch of like things like that, and you're kind of testing your luck too, because then the nurse or the battle, there's somebody in before each room who gives you a hint about what their next room might be, or I guess like one of the rooms what they might be. So I think it's actually a really cool idea, but it's very frustrating because, you know, you're getting the Pokemon are just poisoning you, burning you, all this other stuff. So, and if all your Pokemon get frozen, then you get thrown. It's like a very intense battle. You're just gonna lose, and I don't know. It's interesting. In the battle with Lucy for the silver medal, I'll probably have it on the screen now. I was being really greedy with Steelix because I was just keeping Steelix in despite it being confused, but we got through it pretty easily. My team is quite strong against her team just because I have, you know, Earthquake and Steelix, and she's got like the Survivor and stuff like that. Steelix was also really good because there's some rooms in the Battle Pike where wild Pokemon are in there and they just try and like inflict status conditions to you. So Steelix with a roar was great because I couldn't get toxic and I could just roar away the wild Pokemon. They really don't let you flee. I mean, maybe you can sometimes, but I rarely was able to flee. So just roaring the Pokemon away allowed me to end that battle. I ended up doing the Battle Pike several times. I got to, I think it was room 79 is what I have here marked in my notes, which is pretty high, but yeah, I couldn't beat this one guy. My Pokemon just got 2 status inflicted. I think at one point I was frozen all 3 of my Pokemon. It's pretty crazy. But I got to room 79, so pretty good. I was about halfway, a little more than halfway there. One of the strategies I was doing is I was just finding the rooms, or I was playing my luck against the rooms where there would be no battling, but there would be the guy or his Pokemon that would inflict the status condition to one or all of my Pokemon, and then I would try and keep going down that room, or I would play the odds of trying to get them healed. This seemed to be a very fast strategy because you're spending less time battling. However, it's not the best because if you do encounter like a difficult trainer battle, you're like screwed almost in a sense, because your Pokemon are just that, basically they're not ready for battle. So another strategy I was trying to do was trying to seek out the trainer battle, so I know that my Pokemon would get healed after. There's definitely some like strategy, but I'm trying to figure it out, and obviously there's probably some forums online discussing this, but you know, kind of just want to test it out for myself. But the Battle Pike, I was doing quite well. I did some more of the Battle Tower and Battle Dome, but it was kind of just frustrating. I wouldn't really get too far in it. And then I did try the Battle Factory again, and I guess like 24 battles. What is that? I guess like, I don't know. Anyway, I was receiving about 3 or 4 battle points per like clear, so whatever that is. But I was doing pretty good in the Battle Factory. Battle Factory is one of them that I go to when I want to play the Battle Frontier, but I don't necessarily want to use my current team. And it's also, you get some pretty cool ideas too about Pokemon that you could probably add to your own team as well. But yeah, really the only big thing that happened this last like month or so was that I got the silver medal of Battle Pike, and we're moving. We're doing good. So after, in between some of the Battle Factory battles and things like that, I decided to take some intermittent breaks and do some miscellaneous things. So one of the things I did too was capture a lot of Dittos, trying to get either more Dittos with better, or not better, but a more wide variety of natures for when I do breed. And also I really would like to have more Dittos with perfect IVs, preferably like 1 or 2 Dittos with ideal IVs, like, you know, HP and attack, or attack and speed, something like that. So I caught probably like 60 more Dittos. I still need to, I think half of them I checked the IVs, and I only, out of the 30 Dittos I caught, out of the total 60, but out of 30 that I caught, I had like 3 of them that are actually like okay. I think 1 or 2 had like a perfect IV. So very low percentage that you're actually getting something good. It was recommended that I do not use Marowak with False Swipe to capture Dittos. So what I did was, or what it was recommended, and what I did was Feebas or Magikarp, very low level with Splash. I equipped a Smoke Ball to it so I can escape or run away every single time if I encounter a Whismur or a Loudred. And I bought a whole bunch of Repeat Balls. So yeah, I encounter a Pokemon in the Desert Underpass in Emerald. If it's a Whismur or Loudred, just run away because you got the Smoke Ball, it's 100%. If it's not, you use Splash one time, it allows the Ditto to transform, and then you throw a Repeat Ball at it, and it's like a 90-something% chance you capture it. So way easier than using the Marowak and false swiping like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think. I'm making a video in the near future. I hope so. It's gonna be a long video, but anyway, I will make the appropriate adjustments in the video or future videos going forward. That is definitely the more optimal method than what I originally had in the IV breeding video that I reposted like months ago. But yeah, thank you for the recommendation. Definitely a lot more efficient and easy. If you don't want to use repeat balls, also Ultra Balls work pretty well too. I was not having a lot of success with the Great Balls, but just testing out different Pokeballs. I needed money in Emerald, so I ran through the Elite Four probably like 4 or 5 times, so I got some extra money. So I'm not too big of a fan of Emerald's making money process. I know there's some other ways too, but it's just not the best in my opinion. So moving on to the upgrades to their modifications to the team. It's not going to be new Pokemon, but it's going to be new moves, and I guess new Pokemon, but it's the same Pokemon, different moveset, so hear me out. So I've been doing some research online. I told myself I wouldn't really do this, but it's just so hard to ignore it and ignore all the good conversations that are going on online and lessons learned. And it's somewhat painful, you know, to go like 4 or 5 hours playing through a run and then losing to something, like not only like I say losing to something dumb, but just losing to something that I probably could have incorporated or understood within my team, that I could have almost avoided in a sense, if that makes sense. So just doing some research online, trying to figure out, you know, how can I make the best use out of the Pokemon that I want to use on my team, and actually now build a three dude team and make it all synergize well. So there is 3 things that I'm thinking of. Just gonna throw it out there, and then we will break down what I'm actually doing. So the first thing is Dusclops. I am considering removing Seismic Toss for Torment. The second thing is I'm considering breeding and training a very bulky Steelix with Protect, Rest, Toxic, and Torment. And the third thing is I'm considering breeding and training a Tyranitar with Dragon Dance and creating that type of sweeper. So as I was looking stuff up online, I think Torment is just, it's a move I've never ever in my life even considered putting on a Pokemon. So those who don't know, Torment makes it so the opposing Pokemon cannot use the same move twice in a row. This move in combination with Protect and that information and understanding that if a Pokemon uses Surf or something, they will not use Surf the next turn because of the Torment. Having that information allows you to set up and understand that you have almost a 1 turn to make decisions that you might have not been able to because you're afraid of the AI or the opponent spamming certain moves. So what's crazy though is Torment with Protect is great, because if they use a really super effective move but they're under Torment, they're going to use that move as much as possible because it's super effective against you. But if you have Protect, you can protect almost every other move, if that makes sense. At least this is how I'm understanding the Torment Protect combo, the Wombo combo. I really would like to have it on Steelix because I think Dusclops is like a perfect, not perfect, but it's almost a perfect Pokemon. Like that thing on the team is solid. But Torment Protect with Dusclops' pressure, with Rest and Leftovers, that seems to be a beast Pokemon to just stall out some other any Pokemon in the game and get any moves that might be super effective down. So the idea with this team, okay, maybe I should back up a little bit, is from what I'm reading also online, is to very consistently set up a Dragon Dancing. For me, I chose Tyranitar because I love Tyranitar again, but set up a Pokemon with Dragon Dance, Calm Mind, something of that, like Bulk Up, something of that nature, and then sweep using that Pokemon. So this team would put more emphasis on getting several Dragon Dances on Tyranitar up and allowing for that Pokemon to sweep. Dusclops is gonna weaken the Pokemon, or not even weaken, make it so that they can't use any moves. Once they can't really use any moves, or all their super effective moves against Tyranitar are gone, switch into Tyranitar, Dragon Dance it up, and then sweep that way. So yes, I think I'm gonna go back a little bit. I think after discussing this out loud is the first time I'm actually doing this other than just typing on, paper. I need Steelix to have Roar. We could do Protect, maybe Rest, and some other move, but Steelix is going to be the Pokemon that's going to get the information about what the other team is. Roar away Pokemon that Dusclops is going to be super weak to, and then switch into Dusclops, get the pressure down on the first Pokemon, and then swap into Dragon Dance and Tyranitar. It does sound very convoluted and complicated, but it's kind of not when I really think about it. But there has to be some consistent and reliable strategy, and this seems to be appropriate. Now, I do see a lot of flaws in this, in that it's very reliant on Tyranitar. That's why I'm trying to find a way to... Actually, I don't even think I need Torment on Dusclops. If we had Steelix could Torment, that's like a switch into Dusclops. I don't know, I still need to do some brainstorming, but I think this is a way to go, a good way going forward. Anyway, I've already started this. I started with Tyranitar, or I started breeding for more Tyranitars. So one thing with getting to Tyranitar, actually, before we go into that, if anyone has any comments about that, definitely let me know. The team itself, let me know down below, because it seems to be a lot, but it seems to be more of a thought process than what I have now, which is just like, hey, I hear my favorite Pokemon, here's some good move sets, let's get in there. But as opposed to, I have a synergistic team with a whole uniformed goal, if that makes sense. So in order to get Dragon Dance on Tyranitar, it's not very easy. It's only through egg moves, and there's only like 2 Pokemon that can actually breed with it. Okay, 2 evolutionary lines that could breed with it. So what you need to do is have a Horsey, Seadra, or Kingdra with Dragon Dance, breed it with Lapras. So male Horsey, female Lapras, and then Lapras will learn Dragon Dance as an egg move. Then you need to have a male Lapras and then breed it with a female Larvitar, Pupitar, you know, that evolutionary line. And then that's one way to get Dragon Dance on T-Tar. Or what you do is, which is what I did, you have an Altaria, you breed it with Charizard, and then you get T-Tar. So what I ended up doing was capturing a Swablu on Route 115. This patch of grass is a little bit harder to get to than the Route 114, but the Swablu are a little bit higher. I most likely already had a Swablu or a Altaria with Dragon Dance in my Fire Red game, but I really didn't feel like transferring it to Emerald to then transfer it back. It just, I don't know, I just felt like playing Emerald at the time, so I just called myself another Swablu. So Swablu evolves at level 35, and then at level 40 you could teach it Altaria. It evolves in Altaria at level 35, then you can teach it Dragon Dance at level 40. So I ran through the Elite Four a couple times just to get that experience, and then I went to my Fire Red game, and I ended up having a female Charmeleon. All the other Charizards I had were all male. Actually, I don't know what the shiny one is. The shiny one might be a female, but anyway, I needed a female Charmeleon, and I fortunately had the male Altaria. Traded Charmeleon to Emerald, and then I bred the Altaria with the Charmeleon. Once I started breeding, they started popping out, you know, Charmanders with Dragon Dance, and I waited till I had a male one. I then took that male Charmander with Dragon Dance, and I bred it with a female Larvitar. So once I started getting male Larvitars with the Dragon Dance, I decided that I was going to breed my the male Larvitars with my already Ivy hatched female Larvitars. Now, there are some ways you could do this, but this is why I decided to go this route. I already had some good Larvitars with IVs, and I wanted those IVs to transfer first as opposed to the nature. So you could either do that way, or you could do the nature first and then the IVs, but I just figured I had a lot of good IVs, so let me try and get as many good IVs onto a male Larvitar as soon as possible, and then I would swap in the Dittos to try and modify the nature. I really wanted to leverage the Larvitars that I already had bred, and maybe we got a little lucky with some of the natures, but yeah, this strategy focuses on swapping in and out better male Larvitars and keeping the female Larvitar constant until you get a good enough male to justify swapping out the female with good IVs already, and then you can focus on the Ditto with the nature. The female Larvitar that I did already have in had 3 perfect IVs. It had HP, defense, speed, so already pretty good. Probably should have backed up a little bit too. So the Tyranitar I'm building, it's so challenging because I don't know what I really want to do, but the Tyranitar I have right now is a weird one. It's got unique stats in special attack and somewhat defense. It's weird, but it's a special attacker. This Tyranitar I wanted to focus on the physical attack and either make it bulky or make it... There's so many ways you could build this Tyranitar. I think the 2 ways that I narrowed it down was I'm either going to focus on attack and speed, or I'm going to focus on... Actually, I guess there's 3 ways. Focus on HP and attack, or focus on HP and defense and special defense. Make it just super beefy. So I haven't really decided yet, but anyway, before... That was a thought process I had before going into the breeding, obviously. So before any of the breeding, and I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, there's just so much to chat about, but before I jumped into the breeding, I decided I was going to focus on an adamant or the end goal would have been an adamant T-Tar with HP, attack, and speed IVs being perfect, and then focusing on the EV training to be attack and speed. Just going to make a super fast Tyranitar. So once I started the actual breeding process, like I kind of discussed a little earlier, how I had the 3 IV'd female Larvitar with the male Larvitar, I ended up getting like the best batch of eggs I've ever seen in my life on the first 5 eggs. So the first 5 eggs, 2 of them were like wonderfully outstanding, which is like the highest total IVs that the Pokemon could have, which I think it's like 150 plus, 150, like 180, something like that. I had 2 of them. Out of like hundreds of eggs, I've seen probably 2 or 3 out of 100 eggs. So somehow I got 2 of them in the first batch of 5 eggs, which is mostly almost all luck. But also I did have the Larvitar with already good IVs on it, so almost all those had to transfer. But anyway, I had that, and then I had... So one of them was Sassy Nature, which increases special defense but decreases speed, which I have battled in my mind, and this is actually really good if I want to build a bulky Tyranitar. The other one, so the one with Sassy that had perfect IVs in HP and attack, and I'm going to argue there's another one, because just looking at the innate stats or the level 5 stats, there probably is another one, or at least they're like 30, something like that, out of 31. The other one was a Jolly. So Jolly increases speed and what does it decrease? And decreases special attack, which since this is a physical Tyranitar, it actually is pretty beneficial. This one again had wonderfully outstanding stats, overall great, but no perfect stats. So yeah, I've never had a batch of eggs that good before. So very thankful and appreciative. I've decided that I'm not going to breed any more eggs because I think I have 2 really good Larvitars that should be trained. Moving forward, you're probably going to see some stuff in the video, but I'm going to train the Sassy Larvitar. Gonna train that. I haven't completely decided, but as of me sitting down right now, this is my thought process. Gonna train that in HP, special defense, and defense, and I'm still gonna go the Dragon Dance build. It's just gonna be a really bulky Tyranitar with Dragon Dance. Gonna see how that goes. The Jolly Tyranitar, gonna build it in attack and speed, and the remainder of the EV is gonna put into HP, and that's just gonna be a fast boy, and gonna utilize that Jolly nature. So before the next video, I'm going to have both of these EV trained and level 100, and I don't think I have enough time though. I'll probably just have them EV trained, and I will probably run one of them through the Battle Frontier, see how it does. But actually, I forgot, I gotta back up, I'm getting ahead of myself. Still have to figure out Dusclops and Steelix. I think I need to do a little more sitting down and determine if I want Torment on Dusclops or Torment on Steelix, and if I even want to train another Steelix. The biggest con I see to this team right now is if I mess up with Tyranitar, or Tyranitar moves isn't good against other Pokemon, that puts me in a very bad spot. Like so Tyranitar's moveset, I think for both of these Pokemon, sorry, the ones that I'm training, are going to be Dragon Dance, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and then Ice Beam. Ice Beam gets over a lot of things that like Flygon, like any dragon type, stuff like that. I get it's not super, or I get it's a special attacking move, so it's not gonna get boosted by Dragon Dance, but you just need something to get around other Pokemon. I think that's the move. I am worried about, yeah, like again, Flygon is just such a bad one for Tyranitar. I've also, like, I thought it was just me, but yeah, Flygon also online, reading through forums, that gives everybody a lot of issues. I think like Gligar too would be an annoying one, not as lethal as Flygon, but you need answers to certain problems. Ice Beam could also help take care of Kingdra and just some other Pokemon like that as well. So I still need to do some thinking about this moving forward, because Dusclops can take care of other Pokemon with Toxic, but then again, what if I like to have some backup plans. What if Tyranitar dies? What if Dusclops' Toxic doesn't work? You know, is keeping Seismic Toss the move? I don't know if I want to struggle, or I don't necessarily want to have a struggle battle every single time. So something to consider. Like, the Seismic Toss is good though. So getting back to maybe putting Torment on Steelix and keeping Dusclops' current move pool, but then I would have to start off with Steelix, you know, raw away, get that information, switch into Dusclops on the Pokemon that I want to make it lose all of its moves, then switch into T-Tar. So I don't know if that's too many actions. Is it too risky, I guess? Definitely don't want to open up with T-Tar because too risky, you lose them, you're done. But anyway, I got some things to consider in the future. Before the next Battle Frontier update, I will attempt to write a little update blog post or newsletter articles. Definitely check that Substack link out down below. Can send you all something to chew on in the meantime about how this Tyranitar adventure is going. If you're new here, even if you're not, you know, we got a lot of videos on the channel, a lot of Pokemon content. So definitely check out some of the other videos. Anyway, that's all I got for right now. Hopefully you're enjoying the games, enjoying your adventures. Stay tuned for some more. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in some other video.